Hi, my name is Dr. Keenan Cowsert, and I will be your instructor for COMs101. First, let me acknowledge that most of you probably are not anxious to take this public speaking course. I know that many of you wait till the very last course to sign up and get this one done. Some of you may have even signed up online thinking this was going to be the easier way to get this over with and not have to speak in front of a bunch of people. Well, I've been teaching both online and in the classroom for a number of years, and this online method is different, but it's still public speaking. Now, I can get you through it if you'll just stick in and do the work. We will get there, you will survive, you won't die, nothing bad will happen, and we'll get through the course together. Probably the most difficult part of this course is not the speeches, it is the technology piece of taping yourself and then being able to upload that video into YouTube or Vimeo or one of the sources so that it works for me to view and other students. So I want you to keep that in mind and start working on that early in the course, because that will probably be your biggest frustration and stressor, not actually recording the speeches. Maybe we've taken the focus off of the speech by giving you the technology aspect. Let me talk about how to contact me before we get into some of the specifics of the coursework. First of all, on the discussion board, the very first discussion board link says questions for the instructor. Please utilize that as your #1 resource to get me. I check it every day. Sometimes I check it more than once a day. I will get back to you. If I'm on at 8 or 9 in the morning and you come on shortly after that and I'm already signed off, it may be the next day before I get that question answered for you, but I will be very timely. Generally, you'll see an answer pretty quickly within a 24-hour period, unless we're just a little off on when I was on and when you get on right after me. So please utilize that. Second method, you can text me. My information is under the faculty information. If you have a question that is brief, simple question, and it does not rely on me looking at your coursework or being online to see something that you've done or to find out if your video uploaded correctly or anything that requires me to be in the course, and it's just a simple question, I can answer that pretty quickly for you if you'd like to text me. And I'm cool with that. I'm a textaholic. I'm fine with you texting me. Just please respect day and night hours. Don't text me before 8 a.m. Don't text me after 8 p.m. If you text me at midnight, you're not going to get a response from me till the next day. So I'm happy to answer quickly. Just please let me know your Liberty, or actually you can just say COMs101 student, and I can answer your question very quickly. The final method would be to use the email system. That is a last-ditch effort. I cannot accept any assignments on email. I'm not permitted to do that. All assignments must be posted within our course, and unless it's of an extremely personal nature, that would be the only time you would use that email. I do not check that email every day. I check it every few days. So again, while we're working within our course, that would be the place to post questions and get answers related to the coursework. Now let's talk a little about the content of the course, where we're headed, and what we're going to be doing. First of all, you will need to complete the course requirement checklist. This can be found under the course content right in week 1, course requirement checklist. There are just a few questions, 3 questions on this. Please go in immediately, answer those questions, and let that post. Once that is done, your attendance is set in the class. If you do not do that within the first week, you're automatically withdrawn from the course. So this is a very important step that you will need to take care of this week. Once you've done that, you will use that same course content for each week, and that will show each module what is due. You can click on each one, it will give you all of the information. I will also be posting the assignments that are due each week under the announcements. So you will see it under the announcements, and you will also receive it as an email as far as what is going to be due. Now again, that email is coming to you. It's a requirement that we send it both methods, but if you have questions, please don't reply there. Post it on the discussion board, and we can get answers pretty quickly. As well, with the discussion board, you can answer questions for each other. So be checking that, or if you have a question, someone else may have already asked it and I may have answered it, check the discussion board and make sure that the question's not already and the answer's not already available for you before you send another one. The other thing that you're going to have to be concerned with is the technology piece for this course. So there are a couple different methods. YouTube is the one that most people use to upload their videos. That is fine. You can use YouTube if you're familiar with it. You need to make sure that you make your video public. If you mark it private, I can't see it. I should not have to log in at all to YouTube in order to see your video. I should be able to click on your link and it take me directly to it. As soon as I've graded it, if you're uncomfortable with it being on YouTube, you can go in and just delete your video, and that would be fine. You can also mark that video where you don't allow anyone to vote on it or give any comments on your video. So if you don't want people giving any comments or you're uncomfortable with that, just go in and make sure that that is not available for anyone. I will not be commenting within the YouTube system. All of my grading will be on the Blackboard system, so we really have no need to use that. The other available system that seems to work really well for some students is Videom, V-I-D-E-O-M. And some students find it easier to use than YouTube. So that is another option that you have. If you're not sure how to use either of these or how to upload, you can simply go to Google and type in how to upload a video, and you can get many different help scenarios where they will walk you through the steps in order to upload those videos. Sometimes the video uploads take several hours. They will also give you information on how to condense those files, and you'll want to do that whenever possible so that it will upload more quickly. But be prepared. You may want to do this at the end of an evening and let it upload and leave your computer on overnight so that that video uploads. If I go in and it's not there, I will email you immediately and say the video is not there or it's not working. So you will hear from me within probably 48 to 72 hours of when you upload a file like that. You'll know if it's there and working. The other important thing that you're going to need to know when you're doing these recordings is about just recording in general. As you can see on this video, you can see most of my body, and that's what I want to be able to see for you. Now you can back up even further. I'm staying a little closer so you can see my face, but I want to see most of your body. This view is pretty good because I can see your face a little better. I do not want you sitting. If you are using a video cam off of a computer like I am doing right now, I do not want you sitting at the computer, because here's what you get if you sit. I get nothing more than a headshot, and this is not a speech. Also, when we do speeches, we do not sit, we stand. So make sure that you aren't doing this and that you're standing up as though there were an audience, and you will have an audience, and you need to make sure that you have that. You need to have 5 people. That's adults, and for me, that means 16 and up. 16 years old is fine and up. Not children, not cats, dogs. I've had people put cats and dogs in chairs. I had one student that had about 40 stuffed animals. That is not an audience. That audience isn't breathing and they can't give feedback. You do have to have an audience. It's a requirement of this course. Now, in saying that, I also recognize that some of you may be in the military, you may be overseas, and sometimes there are some additional challenges. If you contact me, we can work through some of those details. You still will be required to have an audience, but I might be able to help you group 2 of your speeches together so that you can get an audience together one time and do both of your speeches at the same time. But please make sure that you have the audience. There are deductions when there is no audience. I need to see your audience. That means you either need to have the person taping you, the camera person, span your audience at the beginning so I see all of them, or you can have each of them walk up in front of the camera so I can see them. I don't need their names or any information about them. I just need a visual that they are there, and I need to make sure they're paying attention to you. I have had students giving their speech like I'm doing right now while a TV is playing, and once they span the audience is sitting and watching the football game, not paying any attention to the speech. Your audience is there to watch you. They need to be seated where they see you. If I had an audience today, I would have to have the audience a little bit to my left, and they would have to be seated there because of where my computer is located. And if that were the case, I would be turned facing my audience, and I would be giving eye contact to my audience, not to this camera. That's who I would be speaking to. And this would still give me as an instructor plenty of view of you from a side. I don't want to see you from the back. I can't, that won't work. I don't want your camera person spanning the audience and then back to you and the audience and back to you. I only need to see them once, and I need the cameras to stay positioned on you through the rest of the video. Also, if you're using a setup like I am with a video cam, the audience should not be seated behind me. We face the audience when we speak. So thinking about the setting and where you're going to do it and how you're going to do it is a really important part of this class. You will also be using a formal outline for each speech. I do not allow note cards. I don't want you standing and flipping through a lot of note cards. You will use a formal outline. So you need to come up with some way to have a table in front of you, a kitchen counter. If you know anyone with a music stand that you could borrow to put your outline on, or go to your local church, maybe use one of the rooms that they have with a podium, anything like that. But you do need something to lay your papers on. Don't hold them. because you need to be able to gesture like I'm doing. You need to be able to talk with the audience without having something in your hands. So all of these things are things you will need to consider as you prepare for these speeches. Another thing that you'll want to think about is just overall, how's it going to work? As you can see right now, there's a door to one side of me with some light coming in, and I had to kind of move this room around a little bit. Make sure that you have light coming in the front. I actually have a light over my desk that I turned set up coming on me right now. If the light is behind you, your face is going to be black. You should be looking at this video before you upload it for me. If I can't see your face, it's very difficult for me to comment on facial expressions, and that's part of your grade. So remember, anything I can't see in your video, I can't grade. That means you have a reduction of points. So make sure that you have viewed it and everything works. You're supposed to just do it one time straight through. If you need to re-record, then re-record. But you are not permitted to record part of it, stop, start recording again. You have to do it in one shot. But if you need to re-record because of lighting or some problem, then be sure that you do that. Also make sure children, TVs, any of those type of distractions are out of the room. There shouldn't be any background noise. Just simple, just quiet. I had to get all of my teenagers out of my house today so that I could do these videos. And I still have 4 dogs which were barking and had caused me to have to redo this one because someone walked by outside. So we have to make sure that all of those things are in place so that it makes for a successful video. This course is 8 weeks long. It's going to go very quick. You need to jump in, get started. We can all have fun at this if we make an effort. This class can either be a check mark for you, oh, I did it, it's over, thank God, or you can try to make the best of this and utilize it and learn. The outline is a critical piece that will help you in every class that you have to write a paper, anytime you ever need to give a speech. So if you will utilize this class for nothing more than learning how to do a formal outline and organize your thoughts and do research, you will be way ahead. If you are passionate about your topic, we will feel that. So pick things you care about. Don't just pick something because it seems easy. Oh, I can do this. This will be the easiest for me to get this assignment done. It will show. We will not have interest. Your audience won't be interested. I won't be interested. Find things you care about. One last important thing. This is a Christian university, and that's awesome that we can bring God with us into our class, and we can talk openly and freely about our faith. And that is a great thing that we have in America. In saying that, this is not a theology class. Please make sure that you are doing research speeches. I do not allow topics that are theology related. I do not want a persuasive speech on why you should accept Christ. I don't want a persuasive speech on premillennialism or postmillennialism. That is not the purpose for this class. I want you to do research on topics like homelessness, child abuse, how to play a guitar, anything, but please separate this from the theology classes. I'm not anti any of that. That is just, this is not the place for it. We are learning some different skills, and I want to separate the two worlds a little bit. Now, can you use scripture in your speeches? Absolutely. Great support for any speech. So use those in addition to the resources that are required for you. Let's have fun. Let's begin this journey, and I'll see you online.